Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is HowFast.
What's going on, guys?
Beautiful Wednesday.
Yeah.
Midweek this week. We missed last weekend. We were pretty busy, but we wanted to take a minute and thank all you guys again for all the views on the car cruise from 2 weeks ago.
That's crazy. I mean, it was a lot of fun being out there too.
It was really great to see all those cars. So thanks again for all you guys
Yep.
who came out. And I wanted to also say, to some of you guys who didn't get your cars shown in there, I really apologize. Sometimes some clips have to be left on what is the editing room floor because either Derek and I are having a potty mouth moment, or the camera's shaky, or maybe the guy in front of you did a really nice rip. They end up kind of catching the spotlight, and unfortunately, we don't get you in there, not in every shot. But
that just means, well, next time.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Rip even more. Like, you want to be on camera?
Show us why you want to be on camera.
Show us.
Yeah. So
like Jimmy. You like Jimmy?
Be like Jimmy. Yeah. And by the way, thanks Jimmy. Thanks for the email. Yeah. So also, I wanted to mention we've now got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to check us out, we're HowFast on Facebook. And you can catch up with our videos there, so we can really stop harassing our family members with all our videos weekly, because... Anyway.
Maybe you will, I don't know. We'll see.
What else? We do have some stuff here for the car that we wanted to work on tonight.
Yep.
So, a couple things that we were talking about. The seats.
Yeah, seats. Seeing how we're going to mount them. Maybe drilling the holes. And... possibly maybe welding the nuts on for. Well, I know we'll get that done tonight, but
yeah, we need
all the fab stuff figured out as far as mounting the seats in, and like I said, I want to work on getting that crossbar finished up so it's not just two bare bars there, and get our martini tray figured out. Yeah, what Derek's talking about are these two bars here that we've had. That we've left in because we kind of want to put like something there. We don't know what, like a mount or something. Yeah.
But we noticed that when we put the second seat in, it's a little bit tight. And that could just be because of the seats, but just to be safe, we're going to pull that thing back about 6 inches or so, almost to where that dash line is, and then it should be good. We're also going to talk about the brakes, and we're going to pick up some brake components, but I don't think we're going to have time to get them in, so we're probably going to drop the car back on the ground.
Like we talked about too before, figuring out the rear end, but again, maybe that might be a few weeks down the road once...
Well, we could always drop a plumb bob off this, like Mike, when we were over at Mike Herniak's place, he was giving us some direction on figuring out exactly how in line our rear end is with the chassis. So, it wouldn't take more than a couple minutes to check that out, at least pull a measurement on it and know what we need to do. So we'll throw that down and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, well, one of those days we'll just plug away, see what happens tonight, guys. And join us while we do it.
Okay guys, a couple weeks ago there we were talking about what is going on here in the back on the brakes, right? So this is the rear right, and you can see the hat and rotor that are on there. But on our left side, Nipah, we're missing some. So, not conveniently, lucky enough, we got a buddy named Jamie who stopped by and gave us a lesson on race cars, in particular these race cars, a couple months ago. So if you guys are interested, we're going to link that one right up here, and you guys can check out that episode and catch back up about where we are. But luckily, Jamie saw us begging for his help a couple episodes ago, and of course he sent me this. Yep. That's a picture of the components that we need, so I'm just going to order some of those up and we'll get them over here. Probably two new rotors and a hat for this side here, just to match these up so that everything's new.
Yeah, and so we can stop.
Yeah, stopping's important. Yeah, going's good, but we need to stop too.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the more I look at this, we were talking about possibly just drilling some holes there and welding some nuts on here to match up with the holes there. But it looks all they did there is build up some weld and tap it, drill and tap it. But since we got about 1 inch of clearance under the frame rail here, I'm just going to drill and bolt all the way through. Get some grade 8 bolts and some steel lock nuts and some Loctite. And the same thing through this way for the seat belt.
Yeah. I think that makes sense, and we don't have to really worry about these things bottoming out because, like Derek said, they're above the frame rail.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot of questions from Derek and I about what standards we have to meet. So I went and found the NHRA Rule Book on some of the things that we need to consider to run this car as fast as we want to run it. So take a look at this right here. Okay guys, what we have here is the basic NHRA safety rules for running a drag car. Now, granted, we're in Canada, and some of these rules are slightly different, but we know that these guys are the be-all and end-all. So I think if we meet these standards, we shouldn't have any problems at our local tracks, but we will check locally before we go ahead with anything. So I'm not going to read through all of this for you guys, but there are a couple areas in here that actually apply to us. So where Derek and I want to be is somewhere in the 10-second bracket. Ideally, right at this point here, right at 10 seconds flat, right above 9.9. And you can see in here with, I know highlighted this, 6.99 in the 8th mile. So you got to remember that when we get down lower. But you can see a couple of the items we need to have here: a transmission shield, locking transmission dipstick tube, aftermarket axles, axle retainers, harmonic balancer, roll cage with altered floor pans for 135 miles per hour, and a window net that's required, and an ignition cutoff on all bikes, which we will probably have to have an ignition cutoff outside of the car, which of course we're going to put in anyway. Additionally, it says anything with an automatic transmission. So any automatic transmission, any non-OEM or aftermarket automatic floor-mounted transmission shifter must be equipped with a spring-loaded positive reverse lockout device to prevent the shifter from accidentally being put in reverse gear. A functional neutral safety switch is also required. So that's something we're going to have to keep in mind with our Power Glide transmission. And then with here, roll cages on all cars running 699 or faster, so that's where we're at. And also here you can see, as far as helmets, we basically, in all of this, we just need to make sure we have a full face helmet mandatory on all cars, 999 in the quarter or 639 in the 8th or faster. So I imagine we're going to want to have that anyway. So a lot of good information on here. In particular about liquid overflows, drive shaft loops, which we're going to be getting into here shortly, and battery relocation. Our car obviously not being a stock car, we could put our battery in a couple different places, but Derek and I were talking, the trunk seems to make the most sense. Finally, here we are here with where we are today, basically the driver restraint system. This having to do with the seat belts and the seats. So a quick release 3-inch shoulder harness meeting SFI spec 16.1, including crotch strap, is mandatory on all cars in competition, required by rules to have a roll bar or roll cage. So I can kind of summarize this for you guys in saying that Derek and I we want to have in our car a 5-point harness. There is nothing in the rules here that says that we cannot run bolts as opposed to tapping into the frame, so we're going to run those bolts. It does, however, mention that you can't have any kind of seatbelts may not be wrapped around the lower frame rails. Under no circumstance are bolts inserted through belt webbing permitted. So as long as we are not having the belt or the hardware protrude beyond the bottom of the frame rails, we shouldn't have any problem using bolts and lugs. And then here's just another good thing for us about our studs and our wheels, basically saying we have to have studs that stick out past our bolts for what we're trying to run. In here, this is a good summary here of all of the gateways that we have to pass to run in the different brackets of time. So I'll leave this up here if you guys want to screenshot that or whatnot. You can take a look. And here's some more for you. So hopefully this helps you guys understand what it is we're looking at. Obviously, I'm going to continue to read up on this a little bit more, but there's lots of good information that can be found online. And if I'm referencing something that's out of date, please, guys, speak up. Tell me. I want to hear about it because obviously we know you guys are our greatest resource.
Got this bad boy off. I don't know. We're only gaining about an inch or two, maybe.
Inch and a half, maybe. So, but you know, let's put this in the car and sit in it and just see where our heads are.
See where we're at.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to try and get it.
Okay. Switch.
My knees are weak. My knees are too sore today. So Justin's gonna get in.
Okay, let me just get an idea of my sight line here. This is just seeing over the dash. You're bigger than I am.
Yeah.
Let's swap this out for the aluminum one real quick.
Yeah. You're 2 inches, easy?
2 inches lower, for sure. I think we should be in these. But I think we should steal some padding out of those and some stuff just to make these a little more comfortable, a little more functional, and spread them out like wide.
I'm 100% down with using the racing seats and steel and padding from those.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly,
I think that's a better move. Number one, because then we won't even have any questions about. We got a legit racing seat. It's bolted to the rail. There should be no questions about like how we're gonna connect that. Right, this is dead to it, and then we just strip those things. We just pillage them for all their soft, plush, squishy components. That's the one, eh?
Hopefully I got enough pipe to get the job done.
Finally, something that's been bugging Derek and I for a while.
Yeah. We're not going to use this. We need a brand new one.
Yeah, no, we need a new one. And I mean, look at this thing. If you guys can see the inside of it, I don't know if you can see in this lighting, but
it's like full of rusty.
The rust has oxidized and like expanded, and just like this piece of metal is never coming out of that.
It's be like a window cover for the something coming out. Maybe if we had another wall space or something.
Put it on the wall. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
If we only had
might have a place for that.
Yeah. Easter eggs.
So what I'll do, I'll just cut that same angle here, and then wherever it matches up. But it should be pretty close to where we want it. But just take this off. And
that way we can cut that back about 4 or 5 inches there. Yeah, good. Cool. I just finished drilling these 2 holes for the seats. I'm going to put 1 more in the front, and that will be all done for the night. Got a plumb bob here, hung off the rear end. I'm going to measure back to the frame rail. Here all the way to here, 28 7/8. Check the other side. And out here. Oh man, let me double check that. 29 1/8, 29 1/4 maybe, at the very most. That's good. That means it's like only out by like a 1/4 inch, maybe a little better. Whoop whoop, yee yee. Back on the ground. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. We're pretty much got everything. I mean, not everything, but we did talk about a lot of things, right? I got the holes drilled in the rail. And Derek's marked out some spots for that crossbar that you're going to fix at work. You're going to cut that at work?
Yeah, I'll cut it at work, get the piece, so I can get the angles right. And it's a little bit easier to cut it there on a bandsaw instead of trying to cut it here with a zip wheel or whatever. But what else? Get some bolts for the seats.
Bolts for the seats.
We can get those bolted in. Some mosquito repellent. Maybe?
Mosquito repellent, yep. Yeah. So we got some work coming up in the next month on Hildy, the BMW. Yep. She's going to get that oil filter housing gasket replaced. We're going to get some new coilovers or new suspension, new brakes, and also Derek's car, which we've yet to name, but it's going to get a name soon.
Yeah, it's got to have a badass, like, gangster kind of, either that or like Pepe.
Pepe, I like Pepe.
Yeah, we could name it Pepe. Pepe's good. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
If you guys think of any good Cadillac names, and hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments with ideas for the name for the Cadillac. I'd like to hear some of everyone's ideas.
Something. I'll if I get, put it this way, if we get half a dozen names, I'll pick one, and we'll use one of them, no matter what it is.
I'd love to hear that.
All right.
Get some crazy ones.
That's not a stretch. We're not looking for 50,000 views. I mean, it'd be nice, but
Yeah, if you get 50,000 views on this, we'll pay
50,000 views, I'm putting Daisy Dukes on the halter top.
50,000 for 60,000 views. Derek won't do that. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, check out our new Facebook page, and you can know how to get a hold of us. You can get us on Instagram at how__fast, or you can get us on our email at howfast10@gmail.com, or you can get us on howfast.ca.
Yeah, there's lots of How Fast. We own it all now.
Yeah, we're all over the place. So get a hold of us, right? Yeah, come watch a video. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share.
We'll see how fast we can get these cars to go.